to break.
This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Digicel Business. Get everything your business needs in one package with Digicel Business Hub.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to another segment of Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. This is a Tuesday edition. Good morning, Susan. Good morning to all our listeners and our viewers viewing us via YouTube. We're looking forward to the first segment on the Business Buzz this morning. We have in the studio Dr. Tamika Irons. She's a family physician and she brought some company in Dr. Tanika Grant-Davis. She's an OBGYN. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you both in the studio this morning.
It's an honor to be here.
I look forward to learning all about what's happening at your place of business, and that is Royal Medical Center. And I just want to start off by asking you to share briefly the history of Royal Medical and Wellness Center. Who's going to take that question?
Oh, well,
and that will be Dr. Tanika Grant-Davis.
Yes, good morning to all the listeners. Pleasure being here. Mm-hmm. Royal Medical started in 2019. And Mr. Kirk Donald was the one who spearheaded it. He had a vision for something different, something that would offer holistic care. And so he headed out with his plan. It initially started with a dermatologist and one OBGYN and a GP. And since then, he's expanded to include myself, a second OBGYN, and a rheumatologist, and Dr. Irons. Mm-hmm. Secondary to some different changes that have happened, we've continued to improve. And it has been wonderful.
Good morning, Dr. Irons.
Dr. Irons.
Good morning. I would like to just mention some other very important people as well. We are two of a very wonderful family. We would like to, as mentioned before, Mr. Kirk Donald, our director, our clinical services and communications representative, Miss Eileen Rich, our nurses, Nurse Katrina Salazar and Diane Obania, our lab technician, Kentisha Johnson, and Miss Angie Donald, our supervisor and collections officer, as a part of our Royal Medical and Wellness family. Yes.
You have a full house.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But it keeps the gears running.
I'm pretty sure of that. Now, can you share a little bit of your professional background and some of the quality of service that is available at Royal Medical and Wellness Center?
So, as a family physician, I am fully equipped to manage a person from birth and into elderly age. Yes. We genuinely see acute illnesses, chronic illnesses, as well as questions, counseling, guidance, and sharing what it is are our medical guidelines as it pertains to moving forward as a patient.
So, how about you, Dr. Grant-Davis?
Okay, so I'm an obstetrician and gynecologist, which essentially means I practice obstetrics, which deals with the pregnant mothers, and gynecology, which is essentially all females. My training is essentially at the University of the West Indies, Mona, and I did further training in Dubai because I have special interest in aesthetic gynae. So my breadth of knowledge has to do with obstetrics and gynae, but I've subspecialized or further specialized in aesthetics And also, I have a special interest in menopause. Because I feel that a lot of women in that age group are underserved. So essentially, at Royal Medical, we can deal with all pregnancies, high-risk pregnancies, deliveries, postpartum care, conception counseling if persons are having difficulty getting pregnant, if you have abnormal bleeding, fibroids, ovarian cysts, screening for cancers. We do all the screening, cervical, ovarian, uterine cancers. Persons who have chronic pelvic pain, meaning you're having pain in the lower tummy and you don't know what it is, we can sort that out for you. Infertility issues, any problems to do with the vagina. Royal Medical is a place. And especially because I do aesthetic gynae, if you have any other issues in the way it looks, Royal Medical is a place. We do well woman checks, so you don't have to be ill, because this is Royal Medical and Wellness. Right? So the whole idea is to make everybody well. Or the whole idea for Royal Medical is to look to well care instead of sick care. Right. All right. So we also deal with that, as I said before, menopause and all STI screening. So if you're in doubt, Royal Medical is a place.
Do you see a lot of high-risk pregnancies?
Yes, I do see a lot of high-risk pregnancies. That's my specialty. And based on my training in Jamaica, I have a full breadth of knowledge and experience with high-risk pregnancies.
Wow. Well,
as a family physician, one of the key points is actually recognizing patients who present pregnant and evaluating them as high risk and referring them to our OBGYN specialists. There are other things that we take care of, but it is very important to recognize as a family physicians areas in which we need to include a specialist in care. I wanted to make mention of a few other things in terms of what we provide. We also have a rheumatologist. And outside of that, along with our fully equipped lab, we do everything from a pin to an anchor, blood count, urinalysis, general services for hematology, specific interests in being able to diagnose rheumatic illnesses and arthritis. We do special testing along with our OBGYNs for fertility and fertility management. And then the run-of-the-mill well visit screenings for pap smears, for breast cancer screening, for colon cancer screening. We have a full microbiology department, which is very, very good as it pertains to family medicine, which isn't much of a specialty. It's more of a generalization because you do everything and hone your skills in being able to provide holistic mind, body, and soul management for everyone. So we're fully equipped. We are ready. We are available. Radio Cayman, we are here.
I just love that. I just love it. No, you're all dressed. You look so well dressed. Just
Thank
look
you.
lovely.
Thank you.
Now, when you head back to work, what would that typical day be like? I'm pretty sure you're going in late now, right? After you finish the interview, you'll be going in, say, what, 8:15?
Probably
right?
a few seconds. Yes.
Yeah, it's probably
Okay.
a few seconds.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Donald, bear with us. Yes.
So, what's a typical day like at the medical facility?
Do you want to go first or should I?
I'll leave it to you, Dr. Irons.
Okay. It literally it can involve every and anything. We can have cases present for the most simple things, a small cut, a large one that we have to suture, issues with chronic illnesses such as controlling hypertension, diabetes, and high cholesterol. These are run-of-the-mill things that we do daily. I find that it's very often that patients genuinely may come in for one thing. You take the history, you examine them, and it leads to a total different diagnosis and another full workup for which we are well equipped for. And then we have complicated cases. The truth is that in our day-to-day life, yes, between hours of work, we do see persons who may genuinely present with life-threatening illnesses such as stroke, cardiac infarction, and a heart attack, as you would say, and also other run-of-the-mill things,
Exactly.
you know.
So essentially, when a patient comes in, they're going to be greeted by Eileen at the front.
Yes.
She's very, very amenable. She'll go through everything that the patient needs to go. All questions will be answered. Then she'll come and have a consult with us. My consultation will be a little bit different depending on what the patient presents with, as Dr. Aaron says. So we do a full detailed history. If the patient needs an ultrasound, I'll be the one to do the ultrasound. I'll examine the patient, and any blood test or any other investigation is done right there at Royal Medical.
But that's right after Nurse Katrina and Nurse Diane have grabbed them and fully given them every single solitary testing that they probably, but not testing. So you have to do your vitals,
Right.
you know, your blood pressure
Triad,
and so
sort
on.
of,
Right. And then we're abreast with what are the issues this patient may present with,
Exactly.
along with issues that they may not have known. And then, of course, again, our full lab complement with Mr. Donald and Miss Johnson.
So I was going to ask you, as family practice and family medicine, some of the common medical reasons a patient would visit a family
A
medicine
urinary tract
physician.
infection. Doc, my stomach hurts. Doc, my chest hurts. It's very important to ask people where their stomach is. It lies anywhere from between your mouth, your throat, to your tummy. Very vague, very different. So you have to be
You
sure.
had me there for a second.
Yes, you have to be sure. Where is your stomach? Yes, it's a Caribbean thing.
Yes.
And for example, irregular periods. And it's funny, there's a lot of overlap in terms of what we do in family medicine with OBGYN as it pertains to contraceptive methods and issues with bleeding. For men, benign prostatic hyperplasia, their prostate is larger than usual, they're up in age, and then I will not be shy. We do full medicals from head to toe all day. All day work permit medicals, life insurance medicals, and persons may genuinely come in to talk, and it leads us down a complete different avenue with psychological concerns for which we provide counseling, care, appropriate referral, and actual treatment. Family physicians are well equipped with dealing with mental health issues. We have undergone training through PAHO with our psychiatrist and family medicine physician, where we do a program called MH Gap. So we bridge the gap between
MH.
Yes,
yeah.
mental health gap. We bridge the gap between the primary care physician, which is us as family medicine doctors, and the psychiatrist. So we take on a host of issues, including depression, anxiety, so forth and so on.
You know, listening to both of you, I'm thinking it's a full 24-hour run hospital.
To be very honest with you, I think all of the patients have our numbers. Yes, we may leave the building, but at some point in time, between the night and the next morning, yes, Dr. Irons is available at 922-9545. You can text, call, leave a message, send a WhatsApp. The last person who got me, he said, "Oh, you really are there all the time." And this also pertains to Dr. Grant. Yes.
Exactly, because we believe communication is of utmost importance when dealing with patients. Because for complete management of the patient, we need to be aware as to what's happening with the patient at all times, especially in my area for obstetrics and gynecology. Babies can come at any time, and they tend to come at the wee hours of the morning. So we need to be in contact with our patients at all times. So communication for us is very important.
So where do your patients deliver?
Okay, well, for me, my patients deliver based on their choice. They could deliver at CTMH or they can deliver at HSA.
Okay, and on that note, we'll take a quick break, make some money, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussion with Dr. Tamika Irons, family physician, and Dr. Tanika Grant Davis, OB/GYN, and they're from Royal Medical
Wellness Medical Center. Royal Wellness Medical
Royal.
Center.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Birdie, as Herbert Bawden was later known, became a carpenter and shipwright, and was reputedly one of the only 5 men in Cayman at the time who could build, rig, and captain a sailing vessel. He built, among other ships, the Reliant, Expert, Crescent, and Dawn. While working at a shipyard in Mobile, Alabama, he built U-boat chasers. He also became an accomplished hard hat diver, working for many years from his shipyard in Colon, Panama. Captain Birdie was widely respected throughout the islands. He and his wife, Marie Nee McCoy, raised 6 daughters, whose offspring have honored Captain Birdie's legacy by becoming, in their turn, captains of industry and commerce in the Cayman Islands. Captain Birdie grew up in the Maryland, now Mary Street, section of Georgetown, and his Wattle and Daub family home, built more than a century ago by his father, Steedman McIron Bawden, now stands in the Pedro St. James National Historic Site.
We are telling you ahead of time, giving you the heads up to get ready. The black tie affair with a circus twist. Step right up. The annual gala hosted by Rotary Central for the Alex Panton Foundation. Saturday, May 29th, Marriott Beach Hotel Ballroom. Step right up. Support the Alex Panton Foundation, dedicated to serving and preserving young people through vulnerable times, mental health intervention, treatment, guidance, preserving life. The ambience of a circus affair. Tickets are limited, tickets are precious. Get your tickets from Rotary Central members. Go online to Rotary Central and the Alex Panton Foundation Facebook pages. Rotary Central and the Alex Panton Foundation. Rotary opens opportunity.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
For 46 years, our Cayman Insurance Center family has worked to protect your family and your most valuable assets. And we are happy to announce that our offices are now reopened to better serve you. For your added convenience, you can also make payments online or make inquiries by phone or email. Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family. As your family's health is everything, do all that you can to protect it. For your family's safety, social distancing practices are in effect at our offices, and masks should be worn. From our Cayman Insurance Center family to yours, stay safe, stay Cayman strong. For more information, call 949-4657.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
We, as Caymanians, live by our choices and by using our voice to bring about change. On April 14th, Cayman and Georgetown West holds the power to turn the page to a more hopeful, more empowered chapter in our country's leadership. My fellow Caymanians, my name is Perlina Magal Lumsden, and I'm proud to be your candidate for Georgetown West. I hope that you will join our movement and use your voice to vote for me, a candidate that will work tirelessly to put you, your families, your education, your employment, and our environment first.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back, Radio Cayman. Welcome back, Radio Cayman. This is Dr. Irons bidding you a royal morning from Royal Medical and Wellness Center. Today, I've stolen Anita's role. I'm here
She wanted to do this.
with Dr.
She wanted
Grant
to do this.
Davis. Yes. And I'd like to wish you a happy belated Women's Day. This month is Women's Month. And we at Royal Medical and Wellness Center, located at Baytown Plaza, 68 West Bay Road, are here for you. You can get the royal treatment.
You can definitely get a royal treatment. So as we come back, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, Cayman Medical Supplies, Cayman Insurance Center, and Digicel Business, and also to Dr. Tamika Irons, family physician, and Dr. Tanika Grant Davis, OBGYN. Good morning again, ladies. As we wrap up this segment of the Business Buzz, Dr. Irons always wanted to do that, apparently.
Yes, she did.
Yes, I most definitely did. I would like just to, I forgot one thing. I said we had a rheumatologist, and I didn't say it was Dr. Chambers. Good morning, Dr. Chambers.
Good morning, Dr. Chambers. No, Dr. Grant Davis.
Okay, I just wanted to also mention some other special testing that we do on the obstetric side. So we deal with persons who have problems getting pregnant, so infertility issues. We deal with the males. I deal with males as well as females. So some special testing that we offer include special sperm washing, as well as we do intrauterine insemination. We assess the male sperm, so the semen analysis. And for pregnancies, if we suspect that there may be genetic problems, we also offer the panorama test, which is a genetic testing where we can actually get the blood from mommy, and from that we can tell about the baby's genetic abnormalities. So it's cutting edge. We also offer paternity testing. Okay, and Dr. Irons?
Our full gamut of services does not stop there at all. The truth is that we are fully equipped for full work medicals. We do chest x-rays, work permit bloods, office visits, new patients, follow-up patients, home visits for bloodletting or taking blood. And as a family physician, I really wanted to reach out to Radio Cayman for just to enlighten you. I see pediatric patients, young adults, middle-aged persons, and the elderly. Geriatric study, that is, of the elderly is very important. Our global age range has increased. It has its own specialty. And as a graduate of the family medicine postgraduate diploma at UWI, we are very much practiced in this and very proficient.
I'm so proud of you. You know, I'm my Caribbean woman. You know, it's
Well, thank you.
It's just amazing that, you know, to watch you and just to listen to you. You know,
Thank you.
I know I can walk into Royale and feel confident that I'll be getting the best treatment possible.
The royal
service.
Oh boy, I should not, Susan. We're not supposed to forget that. Okay, it's a royal. Oh man, there's got to be a lot more in there. No. Doctors you have a pretty high pressure job. How crucial is it for physicians to approach even the toughest situations with empathy, understanding, and compassion?
It's extremely important. We have persons in dealing with patients. We always have to bear in mind that we have their life in our hands. We have to deal with life and death situations. We have to be empathetic to all situations, because without being open to our patients, we're not going to be able to get through to them. We are not going to be able to allow them to help themselves. So with all patients, we approach them empathetically.
I have to commend the matriculation process at the University of the West Indies, Jamaica, Mona. We have other branches. We have
Barbados.
Right, the Barbados branch as well. And the matriculation process, for lack of a better word, is brutal, but with purpose.
Exactly.
They produce the best doctors in the world. And when we go abroad, we perform at a better level than other doctors. I'm so sorry for who may be offended. I'm sorry, I'm a UE alumni graduate, yes. And for one, it is a cornerstone of our treatment in terms of approaching patients. Yes, the job may be difficult, but as physicians, we are dealing with people of flesh and blood, mind and soul, and feelings. So I'm very happy to say that the family medicine program has a very important tenet that we adhere to, and it involves doing exactly that. They literally bludgeon it into you, yes. Yes, as a doctor, okay, this person has hypertension, but however, this is different for the person. They perceive it as something new, something that may genuinely rock their world or completely throw them, off kilter. And it's not something that we take lightly. It is a profound job, and it is one that we take very seriously and want to impress upon everyone in Cayman that we're here, we understand, and we know, yes. And you can definitely count on us to deal with you as a person, a woman, a man, a child, a young adult, with understanding, listening, and hearing.
Exactly. Because as doctors, what's most satisfying about even being a doctor is to just get the opportunity to be involved in another person's life and to make a positive influence. Right, and then working in the medical field, that's what's most satisfying. When someone comes to you and you're able to show them that they are able to help themselves, and they've become empowered to help themselves. Because as we said before, we want holistic treatment. Right. So it's not just us telling people what to do, but it's to allow them to see that within themselves they are able to help themselves with us as their guide. Right. And that's quite satisfying.
Equipping them with the knowledge that they need to make their an educated choice. An informed decision.
Dr. Irons and Dr. Grant Davis, there must be a part 2 to this session.
Indeed.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
we will work a part 2 into this discussion, because I know you have to get to work and we have to make way for the news. But just before you go, give us a location again, opening hours, and some contact information.
Royal Medical and Wellness Center is located at Baytown Plaza, 68 West Bay Road. And you can call us at 769-6230. And for all emergencies or other concerns, you have the number of the man, the plan, Mr. Kirk Donald, 922-2119. That's 922-2119.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tamika Irons and Dr. Tanika Grant Davis of
so
Royal Medical Center.
Yes,
thank you for having us. It was a pleasure.
Yes, a royal morning to you, Radio Cayman.
And a royal morning to both of you. And it's time to take a time check, and we'll bring you the news, and we'll be right back. Segment 2 on the Business Buzz.
The in studio time now by Foster's is 7:59.
It's Frozen Food Month at Foster's, and we've got hot specials on your frozen favorites.
For those who like it sweet, we have Ben & Jerry's ice cream, 16 ounces, $4.59 each, save $2.40.
Looking for an easy gluten-free meal? Well, we've got cauliflower pizzas, selected varieties, $5.99 each, save $4.70. And we have Tucson tamale, handmade tamales, only $5.99, save $5.60.
Price is good until the 17th of March, 2021. Foster's, better prices because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamber.ky.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Please be advised that the pension contribution holiday has been extended until 30th of June 2021. Employers and plan members should ensure arrangements are in place for salary deductions and remittance following this date. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, keeping you informed. For further information, visit chamberpensions.ky, and for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We're here for you.
For today's biggest news,
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The National Weather Service has issued another wind and rain warning. Strong northeasterly winds are expected across Cayman for the next couple of days as a strong high-pressure system is building over the eastern United States. Today, you can expect estimated wind speeds of 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts. Gusty conditions are expected for all three Cayman Islands. There's also a severe weather notification for rough seas. That means there's a marine warning in effect. These strong high-pressure systems are expected to linger and support rough seas of up to 9 feet over Cayman. You can expect wave heights today between 7 and 9 feet. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce kicked off its candidates forum with a focus on East End last night.
Being nonpartisan, we have hosted forums every election year since the 1988 election. So for 9 elections, we have provided members of the community with an opportunity to hear from their candidates and educate themselves before Election Day.
Incumbent Arden McLean, McCleary Frederick, and Isaac Rankin participated in the first of 19 forums, addressing a range of topics from cost of living to the economy to development and education.
It is my intention to put East End first.
It is your right to vote for who you think is the best candidate to represent you in Parliament. Nobody can take it away from you, and nobody should buy it from you. It's your right.
Election matters. Election has consequences. Your livelihood, your way of life is hinged on who you elect. We need legislators who are not going to bow.
The forums allow nominated candidates to state their position on the major national, business, and district issues with questions posed by chamber representatives, allowing competing candidates to debate the issues on the same platform. The next forum is tonight at 7:15 p.m. You can watch it live right here on Radio Cayman's Facebook page. You can also check it out on Cayman Life TV on Logic Channel 33 and the Cayman Life YouTube and Facebook pages, along with the Chamber of Commerce's social media platforms. And the Cayman Islands Red Cross received thanks for their work done during the trying year that 2020 was at February's appreciation ceremony.
But this year was quite special because we were looking back at 2020, and of course it was an unprecedented year. It wasn't just our volunteers. We sit at the NEOC level in government, and so we were tasked to coordinate the national COVID response for volunteers. So basically what the Red Cross was doing mini trainings for people out there in the community who wanted to support the government response. And so it was a special occasion.
John Doe Obi, director of the CIRC, looked back on the never-before-experienced challenges the Red Cross and its volunteers faced.
And I think the response was amazing. Mid-March, we were in our offices, and literally within a couple of days, we had to close down. So there was that major lockdown, and none of us had been through this before. Thanks to technology, being able to sort of reach out to members of the community who were not Red Cross volunteers but were willing to support, and then going through a process of training and just learning how to deal with people like over the phone and via Zoom. It just ranged from so many various things like the production of masks. I think we had over 100 seamstresses because, of course, if you remember at that time, there were no masks all around the world.
91 Red Cross volunteers and 134 COVID-19 national volunteers are recognized for their contribution across the number of emergency responses that took place in the Cayman Islands. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Debbie Russ.
The former regional leader of Catalonia, Carles Puigdemont, has denounced a decision by the European Parliament to strip him and two fellow separatists of their immunity as MEPs. The decision opens the way for Spain to restart moves to extradite the three to face sedition charges over their role in a failed independence bid. Mr. Puigdemont said it was a sad day for the Parliament and for European democracy. An MP from Myanmar's governing party that was ousted from power last month says one of its officials has died in police custody. Ba Myo Tain told Reuters news agency that the official, Zaw Myat Lin, was arrested in the early hours of Tuesday. His relatives are now said to be trying to retrieve his body. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. News is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Calling all gamers.
Practice play is over.
Get ready for 2 days of
Non-stop competition, fun, and excitement.
NetGeeks Media is proud to present
The return of the Caribbean's #1 esports event and gaming convention.
Gamers Bay 5. Now celebrating our 5th anniversary, Gamers Bay is going down March 27th and 28th at the John Gray Gymnasium.
If you think you have what it takes, you can compete for over $10,000 in cash and prizes. Compete head-to-head in titles such as Fortnite, Super Smash Bros., Call of Duty Cold War, and FIFA 20.
See and try the latest game consoles and virtual reality headsets. Lots of free play for PC gamers, console gamers, and VR of all ages.
Special guest influencers will be in attendance.
For more information and to register yourself or a team, visit gamersbaycayman.com.
Proudly sponsored by NetGeeks Media, Domino's, Pepsi, Enterprise Cayman, C3 Pure Fiber, Department of Tourism, Ministry of Education, Youth Services Unit, Kimpton Seafire, Radio Cayman, Simply Computers, and Suzuki.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we're more than just an insurance company, we're family. To learn more about our first-in-class group health and employee benefit solutions, please visit Pan American Life Insurance Company of the Cayman Islands at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304. You can also visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Synopsis indicate fresh to strong northeasterly winds and rough seas continue across the Cayman area for the next few days in association with a strong high-pressure system over the southeastern United States. Additionally, cloudy conditions are also expected to linger in our area due to a stationary front southeast of the Cayman area. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area, which are moving towards the west. The forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 30% chance of passing showers. Temperatures will be in the low 80s today. Your winds will be northeast at 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 7 to 9 feet. Marine warning remains in effect for today and tonight as well. And the forecast for tonight calling for pretty much the same, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of passing showers and temperatures dipping to the low 70s tonight. Your winds will be northeast at 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 7 to 9 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 4 minutes past 2. High tide again this evening at 7:40. The sun will set this evening at 6:32 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:38. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Thursday morning.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life. Mastering the art of communication can open doors for you.
As Susie Kassem wrote in her book, Rise Up and Salute the Sun, we cannot control the way people interpret our ideas or thoughts, but we can control the words and tones we choose to convey them. Peace is built on understanding, and wars are built on misunderstandings. Never underestimate the power of a single word, and never recklessly throw around words. One wrong word or misinterpreted word can change the meaning of an entire sentence and start a war. And one right word or one kind word can grant you the heavens and open doors.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by On Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. On Course Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. On your commute this morning, expect some delays if you're coming from the east. On Shamrock Road, as traffic is busy, as well as on the Linford Pearson Highway, and coming off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. Cool Road, steady traffic, and steady traffic on Hulda Avenue. And traffic coming from the Industrial Park area heading towards the Butterfield Roundabout is moving on moderately at the moment. And a steady traffic off the Esterly Tibbetts Highway heading to town. Edward Street traffic is flowing at a good pace, as well as on Shedden Road. On the Westby Road in the vicinity of the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions. There's steady traffic on Godfrey Nixon. We've been nothing to worry about too much, and traffic flowing moderately on Eastern Avenue. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another traffic report. Have a good morning and click it or ticket.
Things just got a bit hotter on Island. Come in today and order the new spicy Korean subs at Subway. They're sweet, spicy, and especially satisfying. Stop in and try the pulled pork with spicy Korean sauce, or the chicken with spicy Korean sauce. And you can message WhatsApp at 929-4658. Order online or use Let's Eat or the Bento app. The spicy Korean subs at Subway in 2 flavors. Extra saucy and extra spicy. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Oh gosh. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. It's 17 and a half after 8 o'clock. Thank you, Susan. Good morning again, and welcome to our second segment of the Business Buzz this morning. And in the studio with me at this time, we have Mrs. Heather Lockhart. And Heather is a certified life coach at BHAC. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning, Anita.
I can call you just Heather?
Oh, yes, I'm Heather, and I'm happy to be here this morning.
I was going to call you Locklear. Locklear, yes. No, it's Heather Lockhart, and you're a certified life coach at BHAC. Yes. Now, in this segment, we'll put a focus on the Clarity Hub.
Yes.
And some of the topics will include achieving goals, time management, work-life balance, Clarity Hub, of course, their services, and what it takes to be a life coach.
Great.
Heather, thank you once again for being our guest this morning. It's just the two of us. There's a song. It's just the two of us. So tell us a little bit about your professional background and how you became involved with life coaching.
Excellent. And thanks again for having me here today. My background prior to coaching, which I got into about 8 years ago, was sales and sales management. Mm-hmm. So it was all about goals, goal achievement, and people.
I'm in sales, Heather. And it's hard. It's hard work.
It is hard. And you know what? We're all in sales in one way or another is the way I look at it.
Definitely.
So my background with goal achievement did expose me to the coaching business, the coaching ideologies, and I was really intrigued by it. And when my business partner and husband, Dr. Mark Lockhart, who's a psychiatrist, we had the idea of creating BHAC, which is a behavioral health practice, which is psychiatry, therapy, and coaching. He encouraged me to look at the coaching path, getting certified and trained. I was very interested in it. So that was the approach for me to get trained as a coach.
That's a supportive husband.
Yes, and he had been exposed to it when he was at an educational opportunity for physicians, and seen that it can actually support behavioral health. The coaching was a great path. So I explored it, looked at it for a couple of years, and then decided to move into it and got trained and got those hours of training to become a coach. And that was back in 2012, 2013. And ever since, I've been in the coaching world.
Oh,
and it was really a natural path.
Natural. And I could tell it comes naturally to you. Now, what is Clarity Hub? Can you share a little bit about the services that are offered?
Yes, Clarity Hub is a division of Behavioral Health Associates. It's the coaching leg of it. What I offer as the coach is individual coaching that can be done one-on-one, either in person at our offices on Hospital Road, or lots of people, especially since COVID, take advantage of it via Zoom. That's very convenient for them. They can do it from home. We can work in the evenings and that kind of thing. I also work with corporate clients. I offer corporate workshops along with On Course Cayman. I work with Dr. Alexandra Bodden in tandem with her. We've worked together together for many years, and we do, couple-hour workshops or half-day workshops. We even do retreats and that kind of thing together with the corporate services.
And we do carry the On-Course Cayman segment on Radio Cayman.
Yes, they're wonderful. On-Course is a wonderful organization.
Now, what is the main objective that you hope to achieve with the Clarity Hub?
Oh, that's a great question as well. I help support clients to achieve their full potential and to help them achieve goals and help accelerate those results. Clients will get there on their own, but they usually come to a coach, any type of coach, to get there faster and more easily, overcome obstacles more easily. So we help clients kind of clarify their goals and to get past whatever's in the way, move forward faster.
I need some help.
Come on in. I'd love to work with you.
And let's say you offer services in a corporate level as well.
Yes.
Now, do you have those employers making that connection for their employees? How does that work?
So there are coaches that work in organizations, so they come in and work with teams. That's a different type of coach. That's not something I do. Okay. So my corporate offerings are I do workshops as well, and I do offer life coaching to employers. So sometimes as an employee benefit, they will buy blocks of my time and offer that as a benefit. But that is for the employee as a benefit. So they are coaching with me for their goals. I'm not bringing the corporation's goals into the employee. That's one-on-one time with the employee. That's just to work on whatever they want to. But that's popular as well. Okay. Sometimes employers do offer that because it enhances the employee's happiness, typically.
Yeah, keep them longer. They'll be happy on the job, better production. Now, Heather, just take it on a personal level, myself.
Yes.
Because I want to ask you, the question I want to ask you is how do I get started? And what if I don't know what to focus on? Now, let's take myself as an example.
Yes.
I became a widow at age 36.
Sorry.
Yes, that's okay. Thank you. And from then on, I've had to learn to set goals for myself.
Okay.
Take smaller steps, smaller goals, and then, way ahead, the bigger goals. Now, like a person, an individual myself, how do I get started? And sometimes I don't stay focused. How do I get started? And how do I stay focused? And how do I work my way to your services?
Okay. Well, the first thing you would come in and do is a discovery session.
Okay.
That's a no obligation, no commitment time to get to just to kind of talk about your goals. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't know where to start, we start anywhere. Okay. That's very common when people come in and they just say, you know what, I feel a lack of focus. I'm not sure where to start. So the discovery session is a chance to get to know the coach, understand the coaching process, see if it's a good fit with the coach. Do I gel with this person? Do I think I could work with them? Because you're going to spend some time with that coach. And to really explore in that confidential space, what's next for you? What's most important? What's rising up the top in terms of your priorities? Mm-hmm. How are things now? How would you like them to be? Kind of do a little mind map there. That's where you start. So it's okay if you don't know where to start.
Okay.
You can kind of get a picture of what would you like your life to be more like. What areas are really important to you? And that's where it starts to gel. To see if coaching is a good fit. Is the investment a good fit for you right now? In terms of time and money. Coaching is all about how much the client puts in as well. Is that a good fit for you? So that's where it starts, in discovery. Is this something I want to invest in right now for myself? Most people walk away from that session knowing if the coach is right, knowing if coaching is right, and knowing a little bit more about their goals and what success looks like. Goals can sometimes be more like wishes or hopes if we don't know what success looks like.
Now, is that a free session?
For me, it is.
Session? Okay.
Yes. Okay. It's no cost, no commitment. It's not even though I love sales, it's not a high pressure sales environment. It's really for the client to evaluate, is this something I'm interested in right now? And are we a good fit? There's many coaches, many wonderful coaches in the Cayman Islands. If it's not a good fit for the client, if they don't feel comfortable with me or don't feel like I'm the right coach, I can recommend plenty of other coaches in Cayman as well.
You'll recommend them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've got wonderful relationships
nice.
in the Cayman Islands with many other coaches. I'm part of a group called SIPCA, which is a professional group of coaches, and there's many other coaches in Cayman that are wonderful. And also, too, it's not a forever relationship. Coaching is building your toolbox. We're not looking to be working with coaches for or with clients for many years. You're going to build up your toolbox and be stronger yourself so that you go out and do your own thing.
What's the maximum period, would you say?
Some clients do work with me for quite some time, but typically clients are going to work with me first maybe 6 to 9 months, something like that. But you may work with one coach and then work with another coach at some point in time. So coaching is sometimes something you'll do for a while. You go through a period of time where you're rocking it, and then you're going to come back into the coaching space. And maybe with the same coach, and it might be with somebody else.
How expensive is life coaching?
And that's going to depend on the coach.
Okay.
It's going to depend on their training, their experience, and what they're offering. How many times a month are you meeting with them? What's their support level in between sessions? So that's really going to depend on the coach. That will come up in the discovery session. I do find that the investment there's a good return on the investment with life coaching. I've had a lot of coaching. I've invested in quite a bit of coaching and found it to be well worth my investment.
I've always thought about getting some life coaching, but I didn't know where to start. Never knew where to start. I've heard people say, well, I'm a life coach. And I say to myself, I can coach myself, But now I'm having this discussion with you. I'm seeing where, I don't know everything, and it'll be good to be in a situation where I actually have a life coach who can go one-on-one with me and say, Anita, okay, you have a vision for yourself here, but it can be a wider vision over here with some help, Now, how do you define, Heather, goal setting?
I would define goal setting. Successful goal setting is going to look like smart goals. So, again, we're talking about goals. They can be very vague. So the more successful your goals will be is if they are smart would be specific. That's the S. Measurable is the M. Achievable is the A. Realistic is the R. And T is time bound. So many times people come into the coaching space and they'll have a vague idea of what they want to do. But if they don't meet the SMART measurement here, they're unlikely to achieve them. So it's very important when you're setting a goal for yourself to be kind to yourself and look at this SMART goal model and ask yourself if it meets these measurements. Are you being specific with yourself? Are you measuring the goal? Is it achievable for you? Is it something you are able to achieve? Are you being realistic with yourself? And are you putting a time limit on it? Even if it's a small goal, ask yourself if it's a SMART goal.
Is there any accountability here? Would that be to my life coach?
Well, and you can also set up other accountability measures.
Okay.
You can put it in your calendar. You can ask a friend, a colleague to be your accountability partner. There's accountability online groups. So it doesn't have to be a professional coach.
Oh, there are actually groups?
There are groups. There are apps. There are things that you can do for self-accountability that are not coaching related, but they're coach-like. And it's as simple as checking in with another person that's got a similar goal. Accountability is a habit that we're forming with ourselves as well. So some type of accountability can be very, very helpful for goals, as opposed to just wishing or hoping.
But this is, I like the idea, to make your goals SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound, and somewhere in the back of my mind, there's accountability. Now, what strategies can we apply to overcome those barriers to setting goals?
Well, when you think about setting goals to begin with, we can sometimes push back on ourselves when we're setting goals and not do them to begin with. So you want to think about, first of all, writing it down. And I'm not talking about even putting it in your phone, but actually writing it down. Research says that if we write down a goal, we're more likely to achieve it. So write it down, thinking about them being SMART goals, once you've thought through the goal a little bit, and put it somewhere where you can see it. Put that goal somewhere where it's visible. If it's possible, put it in your workspace or put it on your refrigerator. Put it somewhere you can see it, where it's going to tickle you a little bit and say, am I working on this? And also think about the why. We want to connect those goals back to the why. What does it mean to us? We're much more likely to achieve a goal if we're deeply connected to it, even if it's something small.
Something small.
We want to, or maybe might want to connect it back to a larger vision or a larger goal. We want to think about the why. It's really important to us to connect to our big vision about goals.
The why.
Yes,
Why?
Think about the why. Why do I want to do this?
Why? Why do I want to achieve this? Why do I want to make $8,000 a month? Why? No, I remember I went to what's a conference or a session, what do you want to call it, with the chicken soup guy.
Yes.
Forgot his name again, but he was saying that he had $100 bill taped to the ceiling. So every morning he woke up, he'd look at that, and he said, you know what, I'm going to make money. I'm going to make money. Eventually, he started making money because I bought a lot of his books. So, he made money. Now, Heather, we've got to take a break. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Cayman Medical Supplies, Cayman Insurance Center, and Digicel Business. And if you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz. We're speaking with our guest, Mrs. Heather Lockhart. And Heather is a CCICF Certified Life Coach, BHAC. Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
Making a dent in traffic congestion is everyone's responsibility. This March 22nd to the 26th, join your community for Car Free Week, a countrywide initiative by the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, carpooling, cycling, public transport. Join a park and ride program, or perhaps working from home. Your boss will understand. Visit energy.gov.ky for more information for park and ride options. Take the Car Free Pledge and enter into the raffle. Traffic may stand still, but the Car Free movement is moving ahead. Join your community. Take the pledge March 22nd to the 26th.
Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now? Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the second segment of the Business Buzz. I want to say good morning to our listeners and also our viewers on our YouTube channel. In the studio this morning, I have Mrs. Heather Lockhart. Heather is a CCICF Certified Life Coach, BHAC, and she's also with the Clarity Hub. Now we're focusing on goals, Heather, where we just, before the break, we were saying some of the strategies we apply to overcome barriers to goal setting, and one of those was why. Now, developing an action plan. How can someone develop a plan of action that will help to achieve those goals?
Okay. Well, first of all, if you've got a big goal, people can get very overwhelmed by a big goal. So you want to break it into smaller steps. Think about what makes sense. Think about your deadline. And sometimes we don't like deadlines. We work under a lot of deadlines anyway. But deadlines have been proven to really help with action steps. So you want to think about, when do I want to be successful? When do I really want to be sitting with this result? So you want to put deadlines, but you don't want to just have one big deadline. We want to think about the end of the marathon. We want to think about the milestones. And you want to create action steps around the milestones as well. And this is really important. You don't want to wait until you're ready. If we wait until we're ready, we're not going to do anything. We're going to stay in planning forever. So you want to start immediate action steps. You want to spring into action and just go before we're ready. Overcome those fears and start going. And you want to start thinking about what can you do every day towards the goal as well. We're better at doing something every day than we are doing something every week. So even if it's just a little baby step, you also want to acknowledge yourself. Give yourself credit. All action is forward action. It's all motion. So give yourself, don't just wait till the end to give yourself the big yay. You want to give yourself credit. And if we were coaching together, we'd be acknowledging what went well this week. So give yourself credit. You also want to, again, give yourself an accountability partner, whether that's just checking in with yourself every day. at the end of the day, something like that, give yourself a check-in and review it often. We make this big plan sometimes, and we don't give ourselves flexibility with reviewing it. So see if it's going okay. Maybe it needs a revision. If you're a project manager, you'd be looking at the project and saying, how's it going? Do we need to kind of review it, switch it up? And you also want a start date. So if you're not quite ready to go, then say, Monday, I'm going to get going on this. Got to start somewhere. So you've got to keep an action plan going and keep it fluid. If we were in the coaching space, we'd be looking at it at least every 2 weeks and making shifts to it and checking in. And if you don't get where you want to go, look at it and say, you know what didn't go well and how can we shift it? But keep it moving. Keep it moving. Even if it's not perfect, keep it moving.
Do you find in your work you've encountered a lot of procrastinators?
Yes, because procrastination and perfectionism are tied together. And that doesn't mean that it can't be shifted. I'm a recovered perfectionist.
A recovered
But sometimes procrastination can be because we want it to be absolutely perfect before we go. So what I've seen in the coaching space.
Sure? And it's not an excuse
not
to do it.
Sometimes we just want the plan to be so perfect that I cannot move forward with my plan until I get in the perfect spreadsheet, until I have a whole document that is absolutely amazing. But then we don't start it. So it doesn't have to be perfect before we start. It needs to be ready to go.
Just get started.
Just get
start
started
somewhere.
Yes. And I'll have people that will come in the coaching space and say, I've been working on my business plan for 4 years. And meanwhile, someone else might start your business. So we need to move into action. Action is the key to results.
Now, what kind of goals are more likely to make us motivated to achieve them?
Okay. So goals that are aligned with your long-term desires. Again, what connects with your passion. And then
Do you mind me making notes?
I can give you my notes. And then people will say, well, I'm coming in with my employer's goals. So those aren't aligned with my long-term passions. But find something that connects with your passions and your long-term desires. Also, goals that can be supported by daily habits or actions. So we've got to connect them with, again, action. And goals with milestones. And that are trackable as well. We've got to be able to track them. So if we can't see anything that's happening, it's going to be difficult for us to track them. We're going back to SMART goals. We want to think about trackable.
That's right.
Measurable. That's the M in SMART. We want to be able to measure them. How are we doing on the goals?
Now, for the listener and the viewer, how many goals should a person have? How many goals are too many?
And that's a wonderful question, and that really depends on the person. We all know that unbelievable achiever. Think of Elon Musk. He's got a lot going on, and he's achieving them.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But what overwhelms
the time
one
he was
person?
3 years old.
Yes. So some people can have a lot of balls in the air, and that works for them. Some people get really overwhelmed with more than one thing at a time. So it really depends on the person. It's a very individual process. So what we typically do in a discovery session is figure out what are your goals and what can you handle at one time. But it's okay to have a lot of goals. It's good to write them all down and put a plan together for what makes sense for you. Many of my clients work on multiple goals at one time, and it's up to them of how they want to be managed. Maybe it's a 2-year plan, 5-year plan, 1-year plan, 3-month plan. And in each session, we'll be working on different things at one time and how that client wants to move forward with achieving them at the same time. Sometimes goals can even conflict. Someone will say, I want to make partner, but I want to spend more time with my family. I want to build a house, and yet I want to travel a lot. So we want to work that out and figure out how can everything work. That's the work-life balance piece of it. But it's really important to visualize your goals because life goes by really, really quickly. What do we really want out of life? How do I get to my goals and get everything that I want? It goes down to happiness. What do I really want for me? But putting them down on paper and saying, what do I want for me is really important for my clients.
I can tell you're really good at this, Heather.
I'd like to think that I am. But I'm also, I'm a cancer survivor. I'm a very recent cancer survivor. I had a very serious cancer a couple of years ago. And when I was facing that time where I wasn't sure I was going to have any more time at all, I vowed that I would bring that knowledge back to my clients and say, time is finite. All of our time is finite. And it's very important to look at time and say we need to really value it and say, what do I want from my life? It's really unclear how much time we have. So it's important to invest our time wisely and get what we want out of life.
I absolutely agree with you. And you're doing well.
Thank you.
Now, Heather, despite having those clear goals and being motivated and just moving on, there are times when I'm pretty sure there are some people who may fall short of their objectives. What should be done when goals are not met?
It happens to all of us. And I work with very high-achieving clients. We all fall short of our goals. It happens. First thing is be kind to yourself. We don't want to waste any time beating ourselves up. We want to learn from this. We learn from adversity. We learn from failure. First thing we want to do is ask yourself, okay, what got in the way? Look at those obstacles very, very clearly and say, what happened here? How did I stumble here? What really got in the way? There's always an answer. So you want to learn from it and ask what can be different this time. Maybe that strategy didn't work. Maybe I set the bar too high. Maybe I put too much on my plate. What can be different now? And move forward. Keep it moving.
You just want me to just... I feel like sitting here this morning, mapping out my goals and just getting started somehow. This one is a question about employers. What are some ways that employers can actually facilitate better goal setting for their employees?
Great question. And Dr. Biden and I do a whole workshop on this for employers. And it's really important that the managers, that the teams are setting clear departmental and individual goals. Sometimes they're murky. They're not clear. And of course, it's been very difficult with COVID. This has been a big issue for employers in this past year. So we want to be compassionate towards employers because they have changed. The targets have changed. Right. But we want to be very clear about what the department is what's important to the department and what's important to that employee at every single level. The person needs to have visibility into the current organizational goals. And how does the employees' goals, how do they tie into the big picture?
Right.
I get a lot of unhappy employees that come into my space.
I'm pretty sure.
And they say, you know what, at all levels. And they say, what I'm doing doesn't matter. Purpose matters to people. They want to know that their work matters. If they cannot see what their work, how it fits into the big picture, how it matters into the world, then they may move somewhere else. The salary is important, but what they're doing every day, if they can't see how that fits, then they may go somewhere else where they can feel like they matter, that their work makes a difference. So it's very important when the goals are set that it ties back into the big picture so that they can see, hey, why does this spreadsheet, this annoying stuff that I'm doing, because we all feel annoyed by our work sometimes. I own my own company, and sometimes the work that I'm doing is very annoying. But I can see why it makes a difference. It makes a difference to the patient work that we're doing. It's adding to the excellence of the patient care we're doing. I can see it because I set it up.
Exactly.
But sometimes people cannot see it because it's not being shared. Right. So it's very important that that vision is there and that people can really see that their contributions matter.
What do you think is the cause of that? Maybe lack of communication?
Well, it's lack of communication all the way around. But right now, communication has been tested. We've got remote teams working with people working from home. We've got communication challenges right now all over the world. So to be kind to all of us, we've got to work hard. We've got to be more clear in our communications. So there can be communication breakdowns with this whole COVID issue. It's been hard for all of us. And I see this within organizations that I'm talking to, that people are challenged when they're working from home, and the teams are having communication challenges. So we've got to work harder to make sure that our information is being spread in a really clear way.
Harder and smarter.
We've got to work smarter. That's true every day in any organization, but we've got an additional layer right now that is ongoing.
Heather, we're going to take a quick break. If you're just joining us, you're listening to The Business Buzz. This is the second and final segment of The Business Buzz for this Tuesday morning. We're heading up to 9 o'clock. It's 16 minutes until 9. In our studio this morning, we're speaking with Mrs. Heather Lockhart, ACC ICF Certified Life Coach. We'll learn more about the Clarity Hub and what it takes to be a life coach and what to look for in a life coach.
For 46 years, our Cayman Insurance Center family has worked to protect your family and your most valuable assets. And we are happy to announce that our offices are now reopened to better serve you. For your added convenience, you can also make payments online or make inquiries by phone or email. Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family. As your family's health is everything, do all that you can to protect it. For your family's safety, social distancing practices are in effect at our offices, and masks should be worn. From our Cayman Insurance Center family to yours, stay safe, stay Cayman strong. For more information, call 949-4657.
Workforce Opportunities and Residency Cayman advises holders of permanent residency PR facilities to take immediate steps to settle any outstanding fees to avoid potential loss of this facility. Fees more than 90 days past due date should be paid immediately. Payments can be made via debit or credit cards, online payment using the Work Payment Portal, or via checks delivered to the Apollo House West Office on Mary Street. For PR holders needing further assistance, call Work Customer Care at 945-9672.
Need a prescription filled but you're on the go? No problem. Healthcare Pharmacy is now on WhatsApp, 329-7313. You can request your prescription medicine or refills and even a prescription transfer from another pharmacy. Simply WhatsApp a photo of your prescription for us to fill till you arrive with the original. Have questions? Our pharmacists are happy to help. Collect your filled prescriptions at Healthcare Pharmacy in Governor Square or Grand Harbor. Go on, WhatsApp us on 329-7313. Healthcare Pharmacy, we care about your health.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. Good morning again to our listeners and our viewers, and also to our guest in studio, Mrs. Heather Lockhart, certified life coach, BHAC. Heather, life coaching. Now, as a life coach, let's talk about some time management. Let's talk about the benefits of time management, and if you'll be so kind as to share some tips on how we can manage our time effectively.
Yes, it's my favorite subject, time management. I could be here all day.
I should have asked you this up front, right?
So really, and I'm sure we're all good time managers, but it's really about taking even better control of your time, directing your focus towards the people and projects that have the most impact. So we all have such demands on our time. It's coming at us all the time, more demands. So it's about working smarter. Benefits is we'll be less stressed, more productive, and we get to spend more time with the people and things that matter the most to us. So becoming just a super master of your own time is about effective time management. If you think about the most successful people that you know, they're really good time managers. They're almost intuitive about it, but they're working hard at it. They're very strategic about it. So first of all, we need to ruthlessly prioritize. From the second we get up, you want to think about what is most important, what really deserves your time the most. And you need to plan your days. Not that you're managed down to the second, but you really want to think about your days. You want to do something called time blocking. You want to be very good at planning your time and assigning a fixed amount of time to a task, schedule it, and stick to it. And you also want to know yourself. You really want to understand yourself and use blocks of time for what works best for you. When are you most creative? Try to have time for deep work and plan time accordingly. What we're bad at is planning how much time a task is going to take. We'll give ourselves a 15-minute slot to do something that's really going to take 30 minutes. So you got to get really good at forecasting how long things are going to take. We're not good at that as people. The better we get at that, the better we're going to get at time blocking. Another thing, it's very hard for us, especially women, think before saying yes. When someone asks you to do something, we want to be helpful, we want to be liked, and we immediately, automatically say, sure. That's projects, volunteering, everything. So I'm not saying to say no, but give yourself a breath before you say yes, before you answer that text, the WhatsApp, and just pause. Think, do I really have the time? Because every time you say yes to someone else, you're saying no to yourself. So think, just give it a second, a hot second, before you say yes. 2-minute rule. If a task can be done in less than 2 minutes, don't write it down. Don't put it on a list. Just do it. So if you do enough of those 2-minute things where it just get it done, you're going to be more effective.
I made notes, Heather. Heather, what is a good time? Would you say is a time waster?
Time waster can be going back to emails a second time. That can be it. So don't touch things twice. Try to just do it. Overthinking emails. Overthinking proposals, a lot of overthinking. That can be a form of procrastination, getting things perfect. It's better to just try to touch it once and do it. Over-filing, over-managing, creating too many processes. We sometimes overdo things. A lot of my high-performing clients, they're overdoing and overthinking, over-analyzing, over-copying. Another thing is we need to tell people how to treat, we tell people how to treat us. We're too highly available. If we're always available on the other end of the phone every second, we're too available. So we need to put some limits and boundaries on how available we are.
Now, tell you what, Heather, I'm going to set up some boundaries today.
It's boundary setting. It's limit setting, and we were raising our standards and setting a little bit of limits.
What are some of the consequences of poor time management?
Broken communications and missed deadlines. If we are really over the limit, high stress levels, relationship challenges, where we're not seeing our loved ones, we're not available to the people that we love the most because we're always at work or we're always on the phone, or we're not present with our families. We get this with our children sometimes, or our loved ones. Or we're there, but we're not there. We're home from work, but we're not home from work. We're trying to be there with our loved ones. We're on the dog walk, but we're a million miles away. We're still at work. So we've left work, but we're not at work. So we're not really present. So work is really 18 hours because we're really somewhere else. So we're not present. We're not fully in our own lives. So we've got to have, again, some boundaries, especially hard if you're working from home. Feeling exhausted, feeling resentful of work. So we're at work and we're hating it. So we're at work and we're not enjoying work. These are all problems with time management.
Now, work-life balance. What are some of the common reasons that would lead to a poor work-life balance? Now, you did mention some of those consequences.
Working long hours.
Right.
Working from home. Again, saying yes too much. Taking on too much work. And again, not being present. Having clear boundaries. And we want to think about work-life balance. We tend to think of it as a goal. I'm going to get to work-life balance. I'm going to achieve it. I'm going to be at the top mountain good. I'm going to have 8 hours at work. I'm going to have 8 hours of everything that's not work. I'm going to pack it into 8 hours. That's going to be my family, my hobbies, my workouts, my shopping, and then I'm in 8 hours of sleep. And I'm done. I've achieved it. Yay. It's not. We don't want to think about it like that. Research shows that it's really more of a lifelong process.
Yes.
It's going to be a cycle. We're always going to be working on more of an optimization. And again, it's about thinking deeply about what makes us happy. And I kind of say it in a simple way, is something's got to give. Shifts need to be made. And it's a lot of introspection and shifts that need to really be made in your life to get to more of an optimization. But we don't want to hold ourselves to a standard that we're going to get perfectly balanced.
You know, I like to think of time management as budgeting.
Yeah.
You know, budgeting my time. But anyway, it's another story.
That's a great way of thinking about it.
Heather, we're constantly connected through our smartphones, and in some instances, working remotely. How can we balance the increase in those external pressures to work more effectively and efficiently throughout the day or even the week? How can employees separate that work and personal life while working from home? Now, you did touch on some of that, but if you want to, just elaborate a bit more.
And I've done, again, webinars on working from home. There are a lot of protocols from working from home that can be very helpful. And again, it's about boundaries and setting limits for yourself, establishing and keeping a schedule, defining and upholding actual work hours, and logging off at the end of the day.
Logging off at the end of the day.
I've seen a lot of my clients, there's been a blur where they actually don't have work hours. They're working more hours when they're working from home. They are always on. The shingle's always open. And it's been very harmful to their psyches. So it can be very helpful to establish limits with both the people that your roommates or your people that you live with, and also to your colleagues, that these are my hours. After a certain hour, I'm not available. I'm home. I'm having dinner. I'm not available after a certain time. And actually logging off the PC. When we're at our offices, we close our PC and we come home. We might check our phones or something like that, but we turn the PC off. So it's important to set up some protocols when you're working from home for your mental health that you actually adhere to.
But checking that phone sometimes constitute work.
Yes. So again, there needs to be some time that we are away from our devices. And it's important to set up some type of digital detox for yourself where you're not looking at your device, where you're actually disconnected.
Heather, you as a life coach, you've probably worked with someone at some point in time who may feel that they need to have a better work-life balance. All they need is, rather than coaching, all they need is prayer and God. What do you think about that?
If they feel that all they need is prayer and God, that's wonderful. Chances are they don't need a coach. That's wonderful. I've got clients who, for many reasons, have their own support systems, and they don't need a coach, and that's fantastic. But I also have many clients who are very deeply religious, whatever their religion is, and they bring that into the coaching space. So coaching is very individual, and all clients are the experts in their own lives. But I have had clients who incorporate their religious practices that's what supports them. But sometimes my clients, they don't have enough time or space to bring those meaningful practices into their day. So many of my clients have said, prayer is very important to me, and I'm not finding the space for prayer. So we've worked with their schedules to make sure that they have the time for their daily prayer, or that they have the time for church, or that they have the time to put prayer into their day, or to have prayers with them at work, or whatever was meaningful for them. So whatever religious practices are important to them, we've created and opened that space through co-creating strategies to make sure that those things that are very meaningful to them, very powerful to them, are in their lives. So whatever is important to the client, we bring that in. That's up to the client. I've had clients bring in Bibles, prayers, all sorts of different religions into the coaching space, and that's beautiful. I've seen some very powerful and beautiful things happen in the coaching space. That's up to the client.
So this is all, and this can be worked through from the discovery session.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Especially
clients will tell me in the very first session, this is extremely important to me. This is my religion, and this is one of the cornerstones of my life, and this is what holds me up. And I completely honor that. That's my job as a coach, to honor what's important to the client, and especially if that's useful for their support system.
So you sort of work that into their time management.
Or whatever's important to them.
Okay.
I've had clients experiencing stress or whatever, and whatever is important to the client. They bring in, this is my goal, this is my challenge, and this is what's important to me to help me get through this, and I'm all about that. If the client's the boss, and I'm working for them.
That's right. But Heather, I've learned so much this morning. It's amazing. I wish we had another 45 minutes or more to continue with this session. Now, before I let you go, I think I've got one final question for you. What are some common areas in our lives that life coaching can bring great results?
In general, I think people come to life coaches for career areas in their career, finance, relationship, parenting, health, wellness, improving their skill sets, and just basically, I like to call it like operations, making things easier in their day-to-day lives. They come to coaches because they feel stuck, because they're at a crossroads, or because they want to achieve a goal. In general, they're going to do it anyway, but they come to coaches to accelerate those results, to have an accountability partner, have somebody on their team that is not actually in their lives. That's coaching 101.
That's right. No, I've got one final question. I thought it was, no, I've got one last one. If I'm looking for a life coach,
yes,
what should I look for in that person?
I would look for somebody that has that. First of all, anyone can call themselves a coach. So I would want to make sure that they have training. They are a trained coach, and that they have a specialty that matches what you're looking for. So if you're looking for somebody, if you've got a health and wellness challenge, is that what they do? If time management, that's what they do. Leadership, so that they've got something in the area that suits you, and that you feel that it's a good fit. This is really important. Do you gel with them? Because you're going to be spending time with them. So now you've met me.
I can certainly gel with you, Heather.
But some people don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm a really high energy coach. Some people are more comfortable. There's lots of different coaches. So you just want to feel that you feel comfortable with them. And also too, is their pricing something that's comfortable for you? So you want to make sure that package works for you, whatever they're offering. So those are the things I would look for in a coach.
And having said that, can we have your contact details, Heather? Where we
yes,
can find you?
I am H. Lockhart at BHAC.KY. And if that's too long, you can also hit info@bhac.ky.
How about telephone number?
And we are 746-0066.
And location?
We are above the #1 shoe shop at Hospital Road Plaza.
That's easy.
Easy.
Heather, thank you so much for being our guest in the studio this morning. We'd love to have you back at some time.
Oh,
we can talk about this all day long.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for having me. It was a great pleasure.
Wish you well with your life coaching services.
Thank you.
And hopefully one of these days, Susan and I will take up your service.
Please come see me. It would be a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks to our guest previous segment from Royale Medical Center, Dr. Tamika Irons and Dr. Tanika Grant Davis. Also thanks to our sponsors, Digital Business, Cayman Medical Supplies, Cayman Insurance Center, and of course to our producer, Ms. Susan Watson. Thank you. And to our listeners and viewers.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Digicel Business. Get everything your business needs in one package with Digicel Business Hub.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have here on Island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headline